welcome everybody back there who is watching to WTP Esports. We have the Pro League, another Sunday. It is week 3 of action. There has been a lot of things going on that we want to talk about on the pre-show before we jump into the action. The first matchup you can see on the screen is going to be Michelin Heroes versus Squid and Good. Both teams looking for another win. Should be pretty hype. But before we get into all of that, I almost said IPS because it's still on the screen, but that is totally wrong. Let me fix that. It should be our lovely Cassie on stream today. How's it going, Cassie?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing pretty waiting for some more Splatoon action. I see Low Ink is going on, so there's probably a lot of people watching that, and it's looked pretty hype so far. Xylo, one of our amateur teams, currently in the finals, so if you have WTP open and Low Ink on at the same time, I don't blame you at all, okay? You can totally do that. Even though it's kind of like you're cheating on us a little bit, right? But we'll allow it this time.
You set me up, bro.
And then I believe we have Stormy back now on the call. Are you there? Okay, he might be.
Yes, I am here.
Okay, you're there. What's up, Stormy? How's it going?
Back.
That's going good. I'm excited to be here commentating the Pro League. We get to see just where Hollow will play. I always wanted to commentate for Hollow with team, so I'm really excited.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm excited too. Should be pretty good. So, Valrock, Vanna, and Danny Boy, thank you guys for being here. Yeah, it says Low Ink, In the Zone, and WTP all going at the same time. So, apparently Splatoon 2 is live and well, even though we are now waiting for Splatoon 3. So, you know what? If we're doing this well with a... What is
that
it?
weight's going to kill me.
Is it 4-year-old
Yeah,
game?
it really is.
3? 4? When did Splatoon 2 come out?
Splatoon 2 came out 2017, I think it was like July.
So almost 4 years. The game's still kicking, so there you go. Rooting my Michelin Heroes.
People always question Splatoon as a franchise, but they don't realize that how many people actually play this game. Like the fact that we get 3 games in a span of like Splatoon 1 came out, I think in 2014, 2015,
right.
in a span of 5 to 7 years. That's insane.
Yeah.
So this game has to be popular if you got to release 3 different copies in the span of 7 years. Like, what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, to be fair, what I was talking about on my own personal stream on YouTube the other day was I honestly think Splatoon is one of the coolest, most unique shooters. And if it wasn't run and owned by Nintendo, I feel like the competitive scene would have a chance to actually take off and maybe not compete with the likes of like Rainbow Six or CS:GO, but
but it would definitely be a bit higher up there.
Yeah, be up a bit higher. Well, but that's not the world we live in. But anyways, let's talk about today. First of all, as always, just want to start off with some amazing thank yous to our staff. Today, of course, we got here Cassie. And I realized Cassie's not even on the staff list, so we got to fix that. My bad. Sorry, Cassie. You're a real person. I believe in you. I know.
Here. Thank you. I thought I was Casper the Friendly Ghost for a few seconds.
And then also thank you to the donators. It's not updated over the last 2 or 3 streams, but of course, Nikki's still sitting at the top. It's probably gone up since Friday as well, but currently we're at a $62.50 prize pool, and I'm sure that will go up over the year. 60% of that goes to the pro, 30% to amateur, and 10% academy winners. So every donation, 90% of that goes straight to the prize pool and $1.50 per sub. So thank you guys so much for doing that, for supporting the league. And it is awesome that we get to reward the teams that work so hard to provide entertainment and some competitive matches. So thank you guys for doing that. But let's talk about the pro streams because we got to look at this week's schedule and give you the update. On the screen here, you're looking at what is supposed to be 4 matches for today. But unfortunately, we have the update that Psycho has disbanded as a team. They are dropping the league, which leaves us with sadly only 6 pro teams now as Midnight dropped in the first part of the year. So sad day for them and sad day that we won't get to see any more hype action from them because they had a great Game 5 set against Friends week 1 and now we're not going to get to see them once again. But the show must move on, and so today we are going to see still great top tier Splatoon action from Meeklin versus Squid and Good, Friends versus Squid and Good, Stargaze versus Whole Lot of Rage. Jackpot was scheduled to play Psycho. They will not be playing today. They get a DQ win, and all the teams get a DQ win, which means the standings are now really different than they were before when you saw the stream last week. So let's talk about this. With teams getting an instant win over Psycho, that means Whole Lot of Rage is now already with a 3-0. Jackpot, they played Squid and Good off before the Academy stream yesterday and took down Squid and Good. So Jackpot's now at 2-0. Friends, unfortunately for Friends, guys, it means that they pretty much are starting from square one because everyone's got a win from Psycho. That was the only win they had. So essentially, they still are the ones that have to play the 5 other teams. They got to reschedule against Whole Lot of Rage tomorrow. And then today, they're taking on Squid and Good. So we'll kind of learn more about where their record's going to land up. Meanwhile, the following 3 teams, Meeklin, Stargaze, and Squid and Good. Meeklin with the 2-1, Stargaze with the 1-1 now, and Squid and Good with the 1-2. So technically, Stargaze and Squid and Good haven't won a game competitively yet. Both of their wins are from Psycho dropping out. So now looking at the screen, Stormy, do you feel like we are getting a better idea of how the standings could shake up, or do you think there's still a lot of room for these teams to move around?
I believe there's still plenty of room for a lot of these teams to move around, mainly looking at Mid-Lansing Heroes and Squid and Good. I feel like those 2 teams there, they're at still kind of somewhat at the bottom. Have it just move around, especially Squid and Good. Like I said, we see them play against Whole Lot of Rage. They kept it competitive. We've seen them play against these other teams and other like top level teams, and it wasn't that they got destroyed. They kept it in close contention. So I feel like they can go on and beat Mid-Lansing Heroes. They can beat Stargaze, and then put themselves in the top 4 playoff spot.
Totally. I mean, the interesting thing about Squid and Good is they are 0-2 against 2 of the top teams, which is Jackpot potentially and Whole Lot of Rage. So even though they lost to, they still have to play against Friends, Meeklin, and Stargaze. If they win 2 or 3 of those matchups, then they potentially have a great shot at making playoffs. Right now, they have 2 matches today against Meeklin and Friends. If they go 2-0, then all of a sudden they're back pretty much into 3rd place just off of their day today. Of course, if they drop both games, it won't look good for them at all. So it feels a little bit like today is the story of Squid and Good and where are they going to end up. Of course, a lot on the line for Stargaze. It's going to be hard for them taking on a Whole Lot of Rage already in a 1-1 record. It's gonna be tough for them. Cassie, I don't know how much of the Pro Action League have you been able to catch yet, or is this kind of your first time seeing the teams?
This is my second time because I was on the. Yeah, this is the second time that's happened. I got to see a little bit of if I remember the first one, because I got to catch the Friends versus Psycho match, if I remember. And I got to catch the very end of Squid and Good versus Whole Lot of Rage, and then of course Psycho versus Friends. But a lot of what you say is true. But I think Squid and Good actually, when it comes down to it, so far what I've seen from them, they could be a dark horse. Judging from what they've shown us a little bit before. And also, you got to remember, they lost to the 2 best teams.
Yeah.
That means the schedule just gets a little bit easier. That's a lot of weight that comes off the back at that point. When you know, like, you don't have to fight Jackpot. You don't have to fight a Whole Lot of Rage. They're now a little bit like they're a little bit more in the distance. You don't have to necessarily worry too much about them until playoffs. Then, of course. You know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they can pull it out today. Let's talk about the maps real quick before we take a break and set up our first matchup. Today's maps and modes coming at you in these best of 5s. Remember, best of 5 meaning that when a team gets to 3 wins, the match is over and they have taken the dub for the day. The first matchup is going to be Starfish Rainmaker, followed by New Albacore Hotels Clamblitz, Humpback Pump Track Splat Zones, The Reef Tower Control, and then Schellendorf Institute Rainmaker. Stormy, I'll come to you first. What are you thinking about these maps and modes today?
The first 4, they're good. This last one, why is it on the list?
Of course.
like just being completely honest, like, oh my god, Shellendorf Rainmaker is so odd, and it's I'm just be honest, it's terrible.
It's
So
terrible.
honestly, for these pro teams, they're looking to win 3 games before they got to head over to that, I don't know, that abomination of a map, like literally. So I hope these teams can don't go to a game 5. This is the first time I'm hoping they don't, because I feel bad for any team that got to step foot into that misery.
That's true. But to be fair, I understand maybe most teams don't like it. But we had this map and mode in season 2, and I'm not saying I chose this. I didn't even pick the maps and modes. But I do remember from season 2 specifically, this was one of the maps and modes in their play all threes. And honestly, this created some of the most hype action that I remember from season 2, just because these Rainmaker matches on this mode, or sorry, on this map, became really close. They were all a lot of nail biters. So I don't know if that was just because the teams were so close, or if there's something about Schellendorf. But it's possible we get hype.
It's something about Schellendorf. It's something about Schellendorf, because I was one of those teams, Persistence, which I was on. We were one of those teams that gave y'all a nail biter where we took the lead against Translucent by 1 point at the end, and basically ended the season. Like, yeah, that's
history.
Yeah, see, when we took the lead, we were like, thank God. We weren't like hype or anything, because like we knew we were better than Translucent. But the fact that it was so close bothered us. And well, yeah, we were struggling, but it's really the map. It gives certain teams at a disadvantage, an edge if they play right, if they play carefully. So it's definitely an interesting match to play on, but I still hate it.
Fair enough. You're allowed to hate whatever map and mode you want. But right now, we have Meekland Heroes coming against Squid and Good. We will talk about the matchup here in just a few moments. We're going to take a quick break to get the teams in the lobby to get ready for the first pro matchup of the day. I'm looking forward to it because both teams desperate for a win against one another. It will really show which team could be that third or fourth best team in the regular season between these two teams. So it's a lot on the line, especially now with Psycho dropping. Really, these teams are only playing 5 other teams, so every single match going to be super important, and I am especially looking forward to this one. So stick around. We'll see you guys in a few moments. And welcome back to the analyst desk here. We got our first matchup of the day. Micklin Heroes taking on Squid and Good. And this should be a great match. So thank you guys for being here for this best of 5. If you don't know these teams, let's introduce them to you again. Here is the team of Squid and Good here. You can see that their team captain, Porky, is using that foil squeezer. Everyone else on the team, though, the Fury, Shad, Geku, Theo, or Rochi, are also on the roster. So we'll see which 4-person lineup they take today. But Stormy or Cassie, any thoughts about Squid and Good?
You first, start.
I got Squid and Good. Big fan of Porky on that squeezer. He's really deadly and very hard to go against. I know from experience going against him a lot in league, and it's so scary to go against. And then we have Geku on that carbon roller, very scary. They are a all-around aggressive team. They don't like to really play. They don't play it laid back. If they see an opportunity, they will get in your face and take you down. And that's what I like about teams. I like playing teams like that. It's very fun to watch.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we have Micklin Heroes. Team leader Cass, follow up on the roster Daff, Lock, Fear, Lex, and Lawao or Lawo. Still haven't figured out how to say their name. Last week they did a 3-0 sweep over Stargaze and then got swept themselves by a whole lot of rage. So, Cassie, how are you feeling about Micklin Heroes so far?
I'm very curious because, like I said, I watched them a lot when it came to Midway Inc. Tour, commentating the set specifically that Micklin had to do, especially when they got to the finals. One of the key components, it seemed that if were to play well, I feel like Fear and Lex are going to be 2 key components. If they're on their game, it's very little that the enemy can do. Lex has always been a very consistent shot, 52. Can normally get in wherever he needs to go. Take care of what he never needs to do. If he gets those picks and if he gets rolling, it's very difficult to stop him.
Yeah. Well, we got about 70 seconds till the teams are readying up with their weapon choices. So I'll come to you first, Stormy. What is your prediction for these 2 teams? What's going to be the winner and the score line?
I'm going to give it to Squid and Good. It's going to either be, I think it's going to be a 3-1 victory for Squid and Good or a 3-2 victory for Squid and Good. Both of these teams are fairly strong in their own ways, and it's going to be a very interesting match to watch.
All right, so there we go. And we got a confirmation from Jorian. Xylo just won Low Inc., so congrats to them. Nice job.
Let's go.
They are currently the top team in their amateur league, so I'm not surprised that they would win that. But congrats to you guys. That is a huge dub.
Yay.
But we got 20 seconds left, so I'm going to come to Cassie
it.
now. And Cassie, prediction, Micklin versus Squid and Good. Who are you taking?
I feel like it's going to be either 3-1 Squid and Good or 3-2 Squid and Good. I don't want to doubt Micklin, but specifically, it's consistency. You got to understand when they were going up against something like Stargaze, they got the 3-0. But then they went up against a whole lot of Rage and they got absolutely smoshed.
Yep.
So,
well, there it is. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we're ready for game number 1. So, no more talking about it. It's time just for some good action here on Splatoon. We're going to Star main stage, and of course, in the purple is Micklin Heroes. Squid and Good here in the green. And this is looking like a good matchup. So, Stormy, what are you seeing out of these team comps that you want to point out?
I'm looking at this camo tank coming out on the side of Micklin Hero. I believe that's Neon. I'm very familiar with her. I've seen her on this thing called Last Chance, a very strong team. So I'm really excited to see her. But as you can see here, Squid and Good, like I said, very aggressive. Just immediately at the start of the game, looking to get that first started, possible for a KO.
Here comes the Inkjet. Inkjet tries to go over her. They actually get out of Roaching, so the Rainmaker stops there, but they only get to 57.
And it's only 2 down on the side of Micklin Hero. Squid and Good still in a measurement. 3 down now on the side of Micklin. Amber comes out, finds a nice pick, but now with the delayed wipe on the side of Midlands Hero. Squid and Good looking really hot right now. This is going to stop them.
Yeah, Squid and Gate going to come out the gate with a huge push. Does look like they are going to go down, so Micklin's going to have a chance to push back out. But so far, Squid and Good seems to have the advantage, seems to have their number here in these skirmishes.
Fear right now with the inkjet. He's going to go over and take this attic. Getting picked, though. What if Porky? Porky's going to win this fight. And now here comes the flame. Yeah.
How we talked about Porky's so good in that squeeze, but 2 down on the side of, 3 down now on the side of Squid and Good, and now Midlands Hero time for the counter push as Ray is up. This could be a lead change if Squid and Good isn't careful, but they stopped the Rainmaker, but it's still not, the push is still not over yet. Midlands Hero is still in here, looking to probably take his lead back.
Fury using the inkjet to try to get them away. Fear trying to go in, but he's alone. Yeah, he's going to get picked off there.
And this looks like it's the end of the push for Squiddy, not for Midlands Heroes. And now Squid and Good is firing right back. Rainmaker, like I said, you got to be fast. Everything has to be fast. And right after, as soon as they get 2 down, they're moving the Rainmaker all the way back to their side of the map, ready to get their chance for a KO.
Yeah.
Right now, Orochi once again being the Rainmaker carrier. Almost gets sniped there. Locke trying to take the shot. It seems very difficult in this position, actually. He's going to take it out with the Spartan. A near wipe. This could be done.
Wow. Yeah.
Just as expected. Squid and Good.
Wow.
Super aggressive team coming out on a mole like Rainmaker, knowing they have the advantage, taking no prisoners and going in, wasting no time to get their first win.
Yep, Squid and Good taking that one pretty easily. Micklin had 1 push, but for the most part, you can see the KA of Porky and the rest of the team a lot higher getting those kills. And Squid and Good, even though they haven't officially won a match yet, maybe, just maybe they have the advantage here against Micklin. But obviously that was only game 1 here. So Cassie, anything from Micklin there that we can point out maybe that they need to change around? And what should they be looking to do now that we're going to Clan Blitz on New Albacore?
Well, if you remember that one set, the other set that I got to commentate, specifically the one where Micklin versus Whole Lot of Rage, if you remember that, Whole Lot of Rage legit almost went full meme on them with double carbon, and it still worked against Micklin. There's something specifically about aggression that Micklin, for some reason, is not able to take. They need to be able to conceal this aggression. They have to be able to win their fights. And most importantly, they have to go in as a team. They can't take these fights one-on-one. Like you saw Fear, he was alone over on that right below Snipe. It just got completely picked.
Yeah. And something about Porky on that champagne bottle. Stormy, what is making Porky pop off that champagne bottle? Because he just went crazy there.
Oh man, Squeezer is so overlooked. Because like, if you like just use the tap motion, it's a 3-shot kill, but it's really hard to control compared to something like a K-Pro where you just hold it down. But if you just master it, it's such a deadly weapon. And not to mention bubbles. Man, you wear Object Shredder, you get the insta pop, you can hold down an area by himself, get 2 or 3 kills at a time. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah, well, teams are ready for game number 2, so we'll see. Can Micklin actually get a win and make this a 1-1 series? I'm hoping for a close series, so don't tell me Squid and Good's getting a 3-0, but we'll see. Micklin need this win here. Clan Blitz tie it on up. All right, and as we jump into the game, it looks like Micklin's going to be with the yellow color here today, and then Squid and Good is going to be taking on the blue ink. So we're ready for game number 2, and what are you guys seeing out of these team comps? That's a little interesting.
I'm very interested to see Locke actually pulling himself off the charger this time, instead going with a heavy remake.
Indeed. I've known Locke to be a pretty good charger player, so seeing him play something else is very odd for me. But we'll see how it pays up here as you see them trying to take a 2v1, but decided to take 2 down instead. 3 down now inside of the set, and now it looks like they have like 20 clans looking different to get their first score inside of Squid Good.
Yeah, first score going to be coming in from Squid Good.
That's textbook.
But no, that's a very good on the side of Midlands Heroes. Only going to put the 71. That's not the best push, so Good
No.
job on cutting the hero. We see Nay on here in the tent, looking to add some pressure to the right side of the bridge. If they can get it going, they can get it pushing their own. They have bubbles at the ready. So as soon as they make a power climb, they can probably go in with these bubbles and probably get a better push compared to Squid Good.
Here comes the armor from Cast. First to hold off this fight over here. Lock has the booyah. Here comes there. They're going to try to initiate. They're going to try to start something here.
Oh no,
I'm
but
trying
the
to figure
tank
out where
goes
he's going to
down.
booyah.
That's huge. The tank goes down, and that's huge.
They get the
That was
push
a really good
anyway.
job by
Cast's
Squid
going to
Good.
go alone, and he's going to get picked.
Yeah, but that was a really good job done on Side of Squid and Good, taking out the tent when opportunity,
Yeah.
because in Cranbrook, the tent umbrella is such a great push starter. And if you want to defend, you got to get rid of the tent first. And as he's picking up the tent, we see them here, we see that he is out here, they find a nice pick, and now he's locking negation with the tent and forces the tent to pop bubbles and finds the kill on this tent.
A
That's great
Rochi.
powerful play we're sitting there. They're going to get a push going now.
And here comes the bubble. Porky with the bubbles. This,
Now they're going to get this push going.
This is gonna hurt.
And there's two down inside of Ben left here. This is going to hurt a lot. But you see the tent coming out from McLaren, but they take it down. It doesn't matter. And
they pick up the pity too.
Would they be able to get it in though? Would they be able, can they KO here? We see them here. Porky here on the top. No, they can't KO.
They're just gonna go. They're gonna go for the knockout.
But no, they get stopped.
Nah.
And McLaren's hero barely holds on there. And now they're at a severe disadvantage.
I feel like Mikon is relying a little bit too much on that 10 to get things started. I think they're not allowing that 10 to be able to be at strong suit to where it keeps having to take these fights alone.
Yeah, they're just pressuring this tent. They're really focusing on this tent. Really good job on the side of Squid and Good. But now we see an 8 shit come out here on Fred Monster Hero. It's trying to look like a pick, but
it
no,
doesn't get
it's
anything.
shut down by Porky. Not sure about Porky shutting down that jet, taking down all of their specials, and with his specials, now they can go for a push once again. He's almost a bubble, so this could be trouble for McLaren Hero if they're not careful. And after speaking about they have 9 clams, he basically has both at this point. So his Booyah Bomb needs to be ready so they can counter that bubble play. Yeah, and you see him right there. He has to win this fight here, but no, they can trade. Honestly, they will take that trade. That trade was important.
Nobody's there to stop Orochi. Orochi's going to get this ball immediately.
Oh, wow. Now, like the Heroes playing defense on their back foot once again. I don't think Squid and Good is going to be able to go in and knock this out, Sally, but they will take their time to chip away at that penalty. They're in no rush to KO this. They know they have the advantage. They know they have a big lead. They know they have map control advantage.
I'm about to say, at this point, it's just eating clock. All they have to really do is just play defend, eat that clock. Make sure they're keeping Miklon in this desperate situation to where they keep trying to take these unsafe fights, and none of them are winning.
Yeah,
there we go again, Fury.
And looks like if he can get this pick here, like a double kick, but they throw in another power climb, this might be it.
No jumps though. All right, they're gonna go ahead and stay in the mid. All they gotta do is just chip. They're literally eating clock.
The Glenson Heroes playing a strong defense, but as said before, you can't always play defense. If you want to win, you got to score. So they need to start finding picks, coordinating specials. But each time after they defend, wow, there goes Geku into the water. Man, I hope he got his snorkel goggles today. Man, he wanted a refreshment. He said, "Oh man, I'm tired. I'm going to the water." But
it's right there.
Yeah, but the Glenson Heroes have a power climb at the ready, but wouldn't even get close. But as 2 go down,
Orochi
shot is pretty good.
Gecko, no, that's done.
That's what be game.
Wow, just that insult to injury.
Look at the flick of the wrist on Geku. Man, that Carmen's really fun to watch.
All right, well, that's a good game. Squid and Good going to take up a 2-game already after the first 2. They just need one more win to win this best of 5. And I got to pause to say thank you so much, IPL Splatoon, with rating after Low Ink with 70 viewers. You guys are the best. Thank you guys so much for supporting WTP Esports. And of course, congrats to Xylo, the winner of Low Ink today. Give them a round of applause. Throw some love in the chat for Xylo. They are in our amateur league, which is on Fridays. And man, Stormy, have you just not loved watching Xylo here in the first couple weeks of the amateur league?
Man, Xylo. I love them. I do. My old teammate Neil's on that team, and my friends are all on that team, so I have a lot of love and support from them. They play so well. They're so amazing to watch. We watched them take down West Bravo Gorillas 3-0 that first. We watched them take down Resilience. Like, they have no care to show for any team. They show no mercy to any team. They just control everything, and they are such a force here in the amateur league. And it looks like they're like the number one team here. I don't think anyone can take them down at this point, especially now.
We'll see.
After winning low ink, your confidence.
Yeah, they got to be feeling good. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But, anyways, thank you guys so much, Homero, Blue Noop, Mike, JLG, and Marco GC for the follows. Thank you guys so much, getting us close to our 500 follower goal. If you're just tuning in, this is WTP Esports. We have 3 different regular seasons going on right now, from academy level to amateur level to pro league. This is our pro league. Some of our top teams going on at it. Meeklin Heroes versus Squid and Good right now. Squid and Good looking for their second win of the season. Meeklin as well. So this is a pretty big matchup right now. Squid and Good now already up 2-0 in this best of 5. We're moving on to Splat Zone's Humpback Pump Track. Cassie, is there any hope for Meeklin? You got 20 seconds. What do they need to do to get back into the series?
They have to contain that aggression, and they can't let Porky run amok. Every single time, specifically when Porky had the bubble push. Like, you could tell the difference by how they were using bubbles in that last match. The bubble usage was uncanny, specifically. Just the difference. And it made so much of a difference in every single push. It's just, they need to get offense. They need to get something out there.
All right, well, let's see if they can do it. The teams are now ready. We're going to Splat Zones on Humpback Pump Track. Meeklin needing a win to stay alive. Squid and Good can close out this series 3-0 if they win this game. Let's jump straight into the action. Meeklin Heroes going to be rocking that green color. Squid and Good with the purple, and Stormy passing it on to you. What weapon choices are you seeing out of these two teams?
Okay, just want to say it now. Looks like Squid and Good's going to take this game with this Carbon here. Because, like, it doesn't seem like the Electric Heroes are really switched weapons. Yeah, they got a junior. Yeah, they have a tent. But this tent, you can't seem to be getting anything done because of the pressure Squid and Good applies. But maybe they can prove me wrong, hopefully. But as I say that, 2 go down, about to be 3 down. It gets a double on the side of the Electric Heroes. Nice job. And now we're going to see them go into the lockout phase.
Well, I like what Cass did there. Try to jump out this time to go regroup. Oh, well, they get that pick onto Porky. That's really important. But Gecko just not stopping.
Double kill. It's going to be is that fucking nutter pick. It's going to be so hard for Midwest Heroes to get back to the zone, especially now with this Explosion here. Explosion is the only line of really offense for the zone. And if he can't get anything done because his teammates keep dying. So they need to find a way to win. But Porky putting out these bubbles, making it really hard for them. But they do take out the Carbon roller. So
here comes the hammer. This could actually be a cap. And they actually are going to recap here.
How is he alive? Porky just dodged that tank. And it's a wipe.
And waited. And now Meeklin is wiped again.
Such patience coming out of here from Porky. So great on that squeezing, like we talked about. And that's just hell of a play for you. You want to learn how to play squeezer? Watch Porky. Want to learn how to play Carbon? Watch Gecko. Look at this. Just bullying them right in front of their draw.
This is
it's
definitely going to be very difficult. Here come the bubble. The bubbles and Porky are ready to go.
So we're going to see them pop it out soon. But they just kept the zone, so the Heroes hanging on here. Maybe they can get some picks going. But Gecko on his Carbon roll or something. But 3 down.
3 of them down,
though.
Only it's Fury. It's only Fury. Can they take out Fury?
Only Fury. They have to be careful. You can't don't feed into Squid and Good. Because he's holding on the zone by himself for his teammates, and they're going to keep the zone. They're going to keep it in control.
They're actually going to recap.
But not take their
fears.
Fear is such a great squasher. I haven't talked about him, but he is a great squasher inside the Winter Heroes. He does a lot, but he goes down to Porky. Just a really good squid. He has bubbles here, and this could be the game if Squid and Good just hang on to this zone. Yeah, just like it's going to be game 2 down on the side of Midland Heroes. But the hammer is popping. No, the hammer goes down.
He's going to try to recap it by himself, but he's not going to get anything done. The bubble's still used by Porky, and I think that's it.
Yeah, Porky just coming in with his bubble, started jigging his zone. He says, "Ha get off."
There's a key part to that Porky play that we saw, where when he backed off and he was still alive. But the most important thing was that he distracted the tent so much to where the Carbon was able to play him.
Indeed, Porky and Geku together are just such a deadly combination. We can't forget the Enzap on the side of Squid and Good, also doing a lot of work, such an aggressive Slayer.
That's a rough one to take. That's one to VOD review.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that's Squid and Good taking this series 3-0. That's going to move them up in the standings quite comfortably, honestly. Now they're taking down Micklin. That's going to give them a way better chance at the playoffs here. And then we're going to see Squid and Good once again going up against Friends in our next matchup. So we'll get the chance to talk more about them. But Stormy, can you talk a little bit about Micklin before we move on? Because Micklin, we saw them take down Stargaze in 3-0 fashion. They seemed pretty decent, seemed pretty strong. Then happened to lose 0-3 to Whole Lotta Rage, and then another 0-3 against Squid and Good. Is this team unfortunately falling towards the bottom of the standings and now are in danger of getting knocked out of playoffs? Or where do you think they're at right now?
I mean, they haven't played Jackpot yet. That's pretty scary. They haven't played Friends yet. That's still pretty scary. And I mean, you talk about how they beat Stargaze. If I'm being completely honest, Stargaze and Squid and Good are two different sides of the spectrum. You're talking about the lower pro side, and then you got the middle to top pro side. That's two different sides of the spectrum, which is why they struggle a lot here against Squid and Good. Squid and Good, just a better team overall, just have more experience, higher level of play, more knowledge, but Atlanta Heroes, if maybe they can prove me wrong and, beat some of these top level teams, in SOS, they did beat Hanaron, so, maybe we can see them pull something like that off.
Yeah, well, who knows? They still have a couple more opportunities, but we'll see what happens. And looking like there might be some problems here with Friends, so we'll see if they get their matchup with Squid and Good or not. If not, then we will have Whole Lotta Rage versus Stargaze coming up here in a bit. So we're going to take a couple-minute break to kind of sort that out, and we'll try to see you guys on the other side. So be back in a few moments. All right, welcome back from the break. We just saw Squid and Good take down Michelin Heroes in 3-0 fashion. And we have some spicy news during the break. Another pro team, unfortunately, bowing out. Friends not able to make it today. And so we have one more matchup today that we'll play here in a bit. We got a whole lot of rage and Stargaze still going at it later today. So that will make things interesting. But yeah, guys, it's been a heck of a pro league. I don't know what it is with these pro teams. The amateur teams, they got it together, man. They they know how to do a league right. But for some reason, the pro teams, I don't know, maybe just life is hitting them hard right now. Stormy,
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear your take on this because you have been a captain of Persistence. You know, in season 2, you guys done a lot, and then you guys disbanded as well. So I don't know, what is it like as a Splatoon competitive team trying to get it together for tournaments and leagues and events? Is it really that difficult, or you know, give your perspective here?
I mean, honestly, yeah, it is that difficult, especially if you like. This is just me, completely honest. If you're not like living by yourself, let's say you live under your parents, and it's like things become hard, especially with school and stuff. And you got chores, then you got, let's be honest. Our parents don't like us playing video games all the time, so sometimes things happen, and then life takes over. You gotta get busy. So how do you get it together? Well, that just depends on your team. Is your team willing, get stuff done IRL in order to make it to come to the game? But at some points it becomes too much for them, which is understandable. But if you're like really dedicated and you like want to get at it and you want to do it, sometimes teams that really want to get at it and want to do it will do everything they can in life to make sure they have time for like this stuff here, which is what we did on Persistence. Like every day, especially me, I made sure before I started playing my game or doing a tournament, I had to make sure everything was straight, or I know that I was going to play. But sometimes it becomes too much for players. So we got to cut to some slack. Life, we always say it, life over Squid Game, life over Squid
Yeah.
Game.
Or real life comes first. It's a very, very important key.
Yeah, and I think
You can't
go ahead, Casey.
force. Well, like I've talked to quite a bit of a couple of people in the competitive scene, but like some people there's also that sense. It's not just sometimes it's IRL. Sometimes there's just a sense of burnout. You've played the game so long, and then sometimes you feel unmotivated because you keep getting the same meddling results, and you're just not happy. There's a lot of other things that could contribute to just cut it out and just stop them.
Yeah. And I think Stormy,
like,
you bring up an interesting point that Splatoon, I think, often does have tendencies to be a younger community, whereas, a young person might not have a PC to play Valorant or, some of these bigger name games. And so they have a Switch, and this is the one shooter game that they can be competitive with, right? And so you're getting teams full of 13 to 18-year-olds, which is not a bad thing. Like I love teenagers. There's nothing wrong about that. But as you said, then they're under control really of their parents' dictation, and they don't really have full control and say over their lives and how much they can play a game like Splatoon or how many tournaments they can commit to. And I think that's one of the unique things about Splatoon 2 esports. It's very tough for some of these teams to get going and to stay going, especially if they don't have full control over it. So I think you're right, Stormy. That's a big factor, and what makes it tough for maybe some of these teams to be able to commit to a full season.
Yeah, exactly. Because back on Persistence, like I'm gonna point out one of my teammates, me and Inky. You remember the Charger? Like me and her, like were just battling so much stuff IRL, and but then when we come onto the game, we come in and handle our business, do tournaments, we do scrims and all that stuff. It's like it's good and all, but it just weighs down on you. It destroys you mentally. Because I can speak. It does. It destroyed her mentally too. But then so after we disbanded, she hasn't touched Splatoon in a while, and I understand why. It just it's not the game. It's not the game. Well, it's partially the game. It's not the game. It's just sometimes competitive is too much for people, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
So when they get that one opportunity to like, not play, sometimes it feels good because I can speak because after Physics disbanded, I haven't really played tournaments. And for that first week or so, I felt great. I felt
Hmm.
amazing. I felt no pressure, no stress.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's just necessary. Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
It
Now,
really
me
is.
personally, I want to come back into the comp scene, but I can't right now. Going to college and stuff, working on that.
Mm.
But if I
Yep.
could, I would. But for the people there are some people who have been playing this game for basically 5 to 6 years straight. So and for those
Yeah.
people who are not tired of playing this game, then props to you. You have such a great mentality. But if you've been playing this
Yep.
game for 5 years straight, like my friend Inky was, like she played
Totally.
Splatoon 1 and now she's playing Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will understand why she would get tired of playing this game.
Yeah, and before I pass it back to you, Cassie, we do have an
Mhm.
update. It looks like Whole Lot of Rage and Stargaze are going to be able to play in about 10 minutes, so we do have more Splatoon 2
Nice.
action. It's not going to turn into a podcast once again for the whole stream. And thank you, Team Fighters and Yeet Splatoon, for your follows. Much love to you guys. But Cassie, that is an interesting point Stormy is making. I do want to pass it to you as someone that also plays Splatoon 2
Yeah.
competitive. How do you avoid things like burnout, either as an individual or as a team?
Well, first
Oh,
things first
man.
is like you gotta make sure that your schedule allows it. I think, like Stormy said, real life comes first. And that's a very, very key important part. If you've got the time, you've got the time. Another thing that you got to understand is that you got to make sure that you're enjoying the game for the right reasons. You got to, if you're playing specifically, and I'm not saying this is a bad mentality to have, but like if you're playing consistently because you say you want to be the best and you want to win, that's only going to last so long. There's only going to be some point to where that's not going to be enough in order basically to keep you playing for like hours and hours and hours and constantly memorizing new metas and then memorizing new weapons. And one of the ways that I like to combat burnout normally if I ever get like tired, because I'm a backline, a charger main. And every single time when I get really tired of the mentality and the fatigue that comes with being a charger in basically competitive scene, I play a different weapon. I literally go to something like a K52, something that doesn't normally require as much brain power for me, something that I can just kind of play and just kind of play casually. And this is going to sound crazy, play a little bit of turf war.
No, don't do that. You turf war.
Yeah, but it's a great way to unwind. If you use turf war as this sort of like outlet to where you just get this experimentation, you're able to just play different weapons because you feel like it. There's no pressure anymore. There's nothing that basically says you have to perform. There's nothing that basically says you have to be good. You can play however you want.
True. Totally that's the case. And I think that's good wisdom, good advice there to keep yourself from burning out. And thank you, Pro Builder, for the follow as well. Much love to you guys all supporting the stream, even though we're in the midst of a break between two matches. Got some coming up here in about 8 minutes. And one of the things I want to ask you, Stormy, is it hard to keep going in Splatoon 2 as a competitive team when there isn't the support from bigger brands or from Nintendo, where there's lots of prize money at the top leagues and top tournaments, and there's some like ours that have donations and stuff like that, but you're not a top CS:GO or Valorant team where you have opportunity to make this a career, make this money. So do you get a point where these pro teams, they are really, some of these teams in this league are at the top of their game, at the top of an A or maybe at least top 20 or 30.
And they get nothing out of it.
Right. Is that part of the problem? Is that lack of motivation there?
Yes. Oh, yes. That's a major problem. We see a lot of Splatoon veterans just leave the scene because they say, what's the point of playing Splatoon? Because I get nothing out of it. Because if you play Splatoon all your life, right? If you play a game like CS:GO, you're gonna be living all right. You're gonna be playing good. You play Smash Bros. Competitive. I mean, not so much, but you're gonna be okay. It's gonna be manageable. But if you play Splatoon competitive, even if you're one of the best, you're probably still not going to be able to live off of that. You can't play this game all your life. Like I would love to, and it's something that my parents kept bringing down on me. They said, "What's this game gonna do for you?" what is it going to do for you? And the answer is it does nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the hard truth. It does nothing. But I love the game, so I'm still here. But thing is, it's not wrong. They're not wrong. You know, this game doesn't. This game doesn't. You can't live off this game. We can't. We can't live off this game. I wish we could, but the truth is we can't.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it so tough. As you said, Stormy, you can point to other games and you say, Mom, Dad, hey, look, I have a real chance of making a career out of this. Look how many people are making money. Look how many, there's a pro series and they have sponsors and brands. And look at these teams that are trying to scout players and all these things. And you get to Splatoon and you're like, well, Mom, I won a $40 eShop code.
No, I want another copy of ARMS.
It's just like, oh my goodness. I mean, can we give it a little more love? Because as Stormy, you said, this is a fantastic game, and I wish it had more of the financial backing to it, because I think we would see potentially a lot more out of this competitive scene. Not that there isn't a great competitive scene. There's a lot of great grassroots stuff going on, from IPL to us to Sindu's tournaments to Tassel and Endgame and all that stuff. There's great grassroots stuff, but man, it'd be great to see more thrive for some of these top teams, especially coming into Splatoon 3. Maybe that's a chance for us as Splatoon fans to start working towards something like that. But right now we're going to take a 5-minute break because we have a whole lot of Rage and Stargaze coming up, and we want to get them in the lobby, so we will have more Splatoon action promised coming your way. We'll see you in a few moments to set up these matches and get going for our matchup of Stargaze and whole lot of Rage. See ya on the other side of the break.
Luke Warren for Jack Black this year.
Oh yeah, you do, man.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking through the break. We got a matchup of Stargaze versus a whole lot of Rage here next. We got 6 players in the lobby, just waiting for 2 more, and then we're going to get the action underway. In case you weren't here before, here are the maps of today for our best of 5. Any team gets to 3 wins, they will take the W over the other team for the matchup. We got Rainmaker on Starfish Main Stage, Clan Blitz, New Albacore Hotel, Splat Zones on Humpback Pump Track, Tower Control on the Reef, and Rainmaker on Schellendorf Institute coming your guys' way if we indeed get to a game number 5 here today. And so far, I'm seeing pretty much all the channel points go towards Whole Lot of Rage. Stormy, is it really that much of a lopsided matchup here between Stargaze and Whole Lot of Rage?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it is because like in the competitive community, Stargaze is seen as more of a mid-level amateur team. But here in this league, we got them here in the pro league. Always here, they're gonna show up and do their best. But sadly, it is that much of a one-sided matchup. But I do remember watching Stargaze play against Priority in High Inc., which is one of IPL streams, and they took a game. So if they could, multiply them playing like that, maybe they can, be Whole Lot of Rage. Just maybe. Not very likely, but maybe.
Yeah. Well, coming to you, Cassie. Any chance you're putting any channel points there on Stargaze, just with the hope of making some big bank buck if they do upset?
This is the largest gamble you could probably ever take. This is like...
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay.
No, it's not.
Not? All right.
Just put your money on a Whole Lot of Rage.
Put your money on a Whole Lot of Rage. It's pretty... Oh, my gosh. I'm not going to say Stargaze doesn't have a chance. I feel, because, like I said, talk to their captain. When they are firing on all cylinders, they can do some incredible things, but they need a lot more than incredible in order to pull this off today.
Yeah. And so if you guys aren't familiar with the teams, let's introduce some of these teams again once more time. Whole Lot of Rage. Captain is Josh. On the team is Nylon, Robbie, Domo, and Gator. And honestly, so far, guys, I'd have to say I've been most impressed with Nylon and Gator. Each game, they have been popping off week after week. And honestly, those two seem to be in another class all by themselves in this league.
They are, indeed. Nylon is a really good machine player, really good slosher player. I'm really impressed by him. And Gator, on the junior, does a lot of support playing, holds on the air by himself, always there to help his team, always there to get assists, always has armor at the ready. Just really fun to watch.
Yep, and Stargaze, on the other hand, led by team captain Yeet. On the squad is JB, RDB, Squib, and Vesta. Yeet in the chat says, if we win, we get to say we beat WOR. If we lose, I get channel points. So even team captain, guys, is betting against themselves.
Oh, I love that. Oh, gosh.
I don't know if we should allow that. Seems like one of those situations where you're betting real money on the other team just trying to
you throw on purpose. Good, I get my channel points.
I mean, at least it's not real money, so it's probably not actual motivation to try to throw this game. But still, I mean, that feels bad when you're betting against your own team.
If we win, it'll be the greatest upset probably in WTP history. If we lose, I get my channel points.
Not just the greatest upset in WTP history, probably one of the greatest upsets in comp history, to be honest.
Yeah.
This would be insane if Stargaze finds a way to win this. But, Whole Lot of Rage is looking too strong for that to happen.
Yeah, they are looking very strong and, honestly, definitely in favorites to potentially just take this whole league out and win. And, obviously we're far away from the finals happening, but Whole Lot of Rage, I mean, I've been impressed. A couple of their members I got to watch in Tassel play for, I think it was Lemonade, if I'm remembering right. And, man, these guys they are so good at the game. And, Stormy, I'm curious how much you've watched players, especially like Gator and Nylon. What do you think makes them so good?
What makes these players so good? I honestly can't answer that. Like, it just depends on you as a player. Like, how fast you rapidly improve, how fast do you pick up on the game, how fast do you learn? Because I've witnessed some new players who like come into the community and they start off at like a Div 2 level because they just understand certain things. Like, I can give an example. Panda Chan on Twitter, who I met, came in the community like a month, is on this team called Fantasy, which is like a Div 3 to 2 team. And she kind of just started competitive, like I would say 5 months ago. And it's insane see how she rapidly grew. Just depends on you as a player.
It really does.
Yeah.
I know I talked about it before, but Caden was a crazy success story that came from a Div 5 team at the time. And nobody really knew about Caden all the way up until Operation Goldfish. And then Div Season 9 came in and we made it to playoffs in Div 3. And right when he left, he immediately took off.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like, I got another example, like Henlo, who, member of Sonder, he used to be on one of my old teams. He used to be one of my old teammates with a team called Igniting Tentacles, and he just, I don't know what happened. He just got really good, and I was like, dang, So it just depends on you as a player,
Just an instant understanding of the game.
Yeah. Some players just have that natural talent. Some have to work on it, but we are now fully ready with both teams. They're just selecting their weapons and comps. So I'll give it to you guys. Is there anything Stargaze can pull out comp-wise that might help them pull off an upset, or does their weapon choice not really matter here?
It doesn't matter. It's just raw skill. Just go in and play the game. And good luck.
Just Hulk out, huh?
I think the best way to describe what to do is,
go all
like,
go off. Pop off.
Literally, it was like, just play the Squid Game.
So if you're coaching this team, your advice to Stargaze, just play better.
Just play the Squid Game.
Just play better.
No strat, no planning.
Squid Game.
Just play better. That's all you need to do. Oh, man. Well, I'm excited to see this matchup. I mean, as you guys said, Whole Lot of Rage definitely has the upper hand. And I'm curious, can Stargaze even take a game off of them? We'll see. We are now ready for game number 1. Chance for Stargaze to take one game. If they win this game, I mean, we're all going to be going crazy. So let's see if they can make it happen.
Yeah, I'm going to lose my mind if they win again.
Agreed.
Well, it is Rainmaker. We've seen crazier things happen before on Rainmaker.
After this, Stormy, if they do win this first game, you don't get the right to call them amateur anymore.
All right.
You're right. You know what? You're right.
Well, let's jump into it, guys. We got Starfish main stage Rainmaker. This is going to be pretty dang good matchup. I'm hoping Squid and Good here in the teal. Whole Lot of Rage here in the purple.
Whoa.
What are you guys seeing
I
out
see two Squiffers? I see two Squiffers, a Blob Lobber, and a Grim Rage Blaster? What is this?
All right.
What?
I'm going to call Troll Comp here. I'm going to call it. They're BMing
Listen,
so
they want
hard.
to put on a show. They want to put on a show.
They're disrespecting right
I mean,
here.
dang. I mean, this is definitely entertaining, but I mean, maybe Stargaze can take advantage of this stupid comp that we're seeing and win this game. You just gotta be honest. This comp is very stupid, but you know what? Maybe it'll work. We'll see.
I mean,
Vesta goes down. Yeet though with a pick. Has the Glugas. And right now that's only Yeet left. He's gonna get taken out, but good trade. Madness.
It's a very good trade.
Oh.
It's a very good trade. Now we see Nader
That's
here on this bomb rush,
player.
looking to hold down this area. And now they're going to try to get the first point of their own. And they take down 2 already. But Vesta has Stingray at the ready. So maybe she's going to pop it too. There's Stingray, as I talked about. They got to try to avoid it. They have to match with to avoid it. And they get the pick. And they want to avoid the raid. And they're pushing still alive. And now it's put 2 down on us at a Whole Lot of Rage. And looks like Stargaze going to stop their push. It's best back going.
I think it was really smart actually of Madness to actually just go take lead and actually really just pull back, get his team in there.
Yeah, indeed. It was a really good job, but they are still at a disadvantage.
Oh my god.
And remember, going to get picked up here on their side of the map. So if Stargaze can come together, pop this Rainmaker, and get a push going, they can go ahead and, maybe get a really good push off of it.
How did that trade? I'm very curious. JB?
Maybe
They can get something started here. Here come the missiles. They're all going to go on Domo. Domo gets taken out. There's only one left on a whole lot of rage, but
yeah, they just pick up and go. And now it looks different to get the lead off the switcher. Yeah, they are.
Nice.
And I mean, they can find again another hit and pop the ray. They get 2 down.
A 3 for
three
you.
down. It's 1v1. Besta versus the Sergeant. Who's going to win? But it looks like the Servant's going to push Besta back. Besta's not going to take that fight. 30 to mark decision. And now we see Stargaze with a lead of 13. Oh, a nice shot there. Man, incredible shots is showing up in this good.
Now the armor from Madness.
Indeed, we see the armor from Madness. Now they're pushing back into Mad. This Swift is playing very aggressive. He does not care whatsoever. And 2 down left of the Stargaze. And now it's time for Hall to get their push on.
Seems no Rainmaker right now. In Whole Lot of Rage's hands. Squib trying to stay alive. Gets the pick, actually. Gets the armor out. Here comes the raid.
Stingray, though. Going for a 2v2 situation.
Ooh, almost gets Vesta.
Will Matt be able to win? Going after Vesta. Very aggressive play here. In a pretty good spot for himself. If Stargate isn't careful, they might find themselves going down to Madness. But Stargate's playing it smart here. Holding back. 1 down outside of Stargate. And now moving back and forth. They're way dashing, but no, he gets stopped. 3 down.
And now Madness.
This could be a lead change. Opting to take it in the top 5. This is going to be a lead change. No! They stop it at 14! But they bought the bomb range. They bought the bomb range. Oh, then they get the pick. He's going to save it. Wow.
Oh, they needed that.
Wow. Such a nice pick there, but they almost take the lead. But a nice direct there by them Red Blasters. Oh no, are they going to spawn counter? They're going to spawn counter. They're going to get locked in their spawn.
Oh my god.
This is not good for Stargate. Besta might go down here. They're going to get they might get lead. They're going to get lead here. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, they get the
do, and they're going to get the knockout too.
Wow.
Oh.
Well, looks like the stupid comp pays off. And a whole lot of Rays take that game even with. They're just looking to have fun with this. They're looking to just have fun with Stargate, But
I'm gonna say this: squeamish audiences may want to look away.
I'm sorry. If you're sensitive to see a team get completely destroyed by a stupid comp, then this stream isn't for you. We're going to see a whole lot of Rays do it again.
I mean, it feels like they're toying with him. I mean, that's just. It's
rated UA unwarranted aggression.
It's making it more interesting to be fair. But man, that's downright disrespectful to pull out 2 squippers. I mean,
oh my.
I mean, I'm not even the slightest bit surprised because back on Persistence, Josh, he had his pick called Squid. Yeah. We were playing in this tournament called unnamed tournament by IPL, which we came in second place in, not unsurprisingly. And in grand finals, when we went against them, they pulled out 4 Tetra Dualies, 2 E-leaders, and just destroyed us and just embarrassed us on stream. And now they're doing it again.
I wonder if this is a piece de resistance for a whole lot of Rage now, to where they just go to these teams that are decently regarded and are basically just nah.
I think they were maybe trying to get us a longer series by trolling, or I don't know, maybe they're I don't want to only play 3 games today because they have been sweeping a lot of teams, but it's looking rough for Stargaze to lose something like that.
Yeah, but if there is anything I want to point out about Stargaze, I do want to point out that Yeet was playing very well.
That's true. And get
Yeah,
the
you were.
Rainmaker out of their zone, which almost saved the game by one point. Unfortunately, they got spawn camped and were not
Yeah.
able to make it back out. But we are ready for game number 2 now.
Yeah.
Clan Blitz coming to New Albacore Hotel. Let's see if there's any more surprising weapon picks coming out of Whole Lotta Rage here.
I have a bad feeling I'm
man.
about to see an arrow spray, and I'm going to get
Oh
terrified.
God! I think we're going to see 3 aerial sprays. I don't know what we're going to see at this point, Cassie.
No,
Okay, here we go.
Stargaze in the teal, Whole
Chemical
Lotta Rage
pop.
in orange.
No.
Okay.
Hey, that looks like-
I mean,
that's triple backline.
stupid, but triple backline. But I mean, it can work. It is Albacore,
It's new
so I
Albacore,
mean,
yeah.
it is Albacore. So we'll see how it pays out for it. And as you see, Yeet here, as Stargaze takes out one from Ray, Yeet is going in. He is being really aggressive. He's gonna take out the Hydra, and he might get a push start. Ray, he's gonna get another. Is he gonna get another pick? Probably
No,
not
he
here.
ran
but-
out of ink right then and there. But Domo was very close to getting picked there.
Yeah, Domo here on this charge is knocking off all of Stargaze's armor here, and now Stargaze has clan advantage, clan economy in their favor, so maybe they can get a push going. But as I say, that Yeet does go down on those good duels, so now we're going to see Polar Ridge be pushed back in.
JB trying to get something out of this P-Tech. Has the inkjet ready to go. They're running double
they're gonna
inkjet.
get-
If you
they're
notice,
gonna
there's
get a-
Stargate there.
Yeah,
Did
indeed.
not
They're
get
gonna
the pick. Instead, Magnus reverses it.
I thought that he was just going to get bodied by that.
Oh,
but he's
he
over here
did.
getting triples. Well, can he get more? He's going to get more. If Stargate.
Oh my God, he almost got there with a
Look at
follow.
he drops
JB,
Oh,
Vester
wow,
with
that
the pick
would've
with the
been
ball.
hype. Would have been hyped if we saw the fall up on stream. We see Vesta here on the charger. Her very famous charger, and now she needs to find a way to push back these aggressive backliners coming in on the side of Whole Lotta Rage. As here again, forced into very tight spot.
Oh, good
but
pick.
They're going to nice pick on the Hydra. 2 down on the side of Whole Lotta Rage. Maybe now they can get a push going.
Squib trying to hold off in the midsection. Vesta with her own problem. Trying to charge up that rage. Trying to give at least something for that next push to go because no team has scored yet.
I question, are these teams playing objective or are they just having a whole killing session? Because they're just going for picks. I don't see anyone really going for objective as of right now. And I'm genuinely surprised, but 2 down. Oh,
Three
but they're
go
at their back, so they're going to score.
Yep. You jinxed it.
Yeah, I jinxed it. Let me shut up, but we're seeing here Stargate putting up a very strong defense here against Whole Lotta Rage, and maybe they can turn this around and get a push going. It's going to be hard for them to move back in. They got to go into the Jet Sports or Hydra, a elite
Because Madness, can he get this win? And Madness beats the fight against Speed. However, JB's not going to lose that one.
Madness doing a lot of work here in these dualies, and JB having to compete with the dualies here for picks, and it's very hard for Stargaze to move in, especially on a map like Albacore. You got to deal with 3 backliners as armor is popped on both sides.
Here comes the inkjet from JB. Doesn't get anything out of it. Gets picked instead, probably by Domo. Missiles coming out for Gator. Still has a
2
ball.
down on each side. 2 down on each side. Oh, what a
that's
nice
me.
play there! What a nice play there to get that pick. That's the high level play that we're used to seeing. We see Madness back there on these dualies applying so much pressure to the side of Stargate. He's probably going to get 2 here. He gets 2. He's going to get 2, and now Whole Lotta Rage is going to make their move to that basket. But Vesta finds a pick on the pick. Vesta here
They're
doing
going
a
to
great
hurt.
job of defense. But
It is just Gator.
no.
But Gator
hurting a
takes
lot.
out 2.
Oh, Gator did pick out 2, but they're not winning a lot. Stargate is still in this. They just need one opportunity, one good push, one good moment, and they can go ahead and win this game.
You got to understand, they got to get that mid control back. They can't spend this entire minute in their base. They've got to do something to get that control back.
Indeed. Yeah, they just can't move in the mid because they got to deal with triple backline come. And me having to go against before, it's very frustrating to say the least. But they do take out Madness, but the Hydra.
Yep.
But Hydra, when they do
Ray.
come to Ray, they're going to try to rush the basket. It's not going to work. And now Stargate needs to push back at the net. But as
the
soon as
Ely
he
to the
tries to
big
get
flip.
right, Domo with that snipe. They're just whole lot of Rage is keeping them at bay. They don't need to even push. They're just keeping them at bay. Vesta needs to get. Oh, but no, wait, that was in the basket. Whoa! Just need. But it's not going to be enough. They're not going to be able to load their knife.
And now they don't have a clam.
No clam to back that up, but this might be the game.
They have 10 seconds. They need to get a clam within 10 seconds. They can get that. And it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. Madness.
No, it's not.
Putting his foot on the throat of Stargaze.
Just look at that. 3 backliners and 1 Slayer. But that 1 Slayer did so much that Stargaze couldn't do anything. Look at that, 14 kills. This is the only one in double digits in the lobby. Just going off, having a field day.
It's looking rough, guys. It's looking rough. Stargaze going down 0-2. The prediction coming true. It's not surprising to anyone here. Whole Lot of Rage is up 2-0. I think the one thing that is surprising is the way they're doing it with these team comps, though. I mean, unless you guys think triple backline is really the future of Splatoon.
Oh, God. I mean, here's the thing. Like, it doesn't seem like it would be like, to push in, it would be a pain in the butt in order to get anything started. But, like, if you have that maintain control in that midsection, you can't do anything if you have 3 consistent backlines. It is very difficult.
Okay, look. Can we stop making it seem like that backline play with intention? Can we stop making it with intention? You know they're just screwing around.
Yeah, we know.
Come on now,
you know who could do it. You know who could do it though. OWO gang could always pull it.
Oh my God, Zach is here. Go away.
Welcome back, Zach.
A whole lot of rage.
What did I tell you guys about Zach joining the stream and just trolling us right off the bat?
Zach is here. Go away, dude.
All right, Zach's gonna set up the match of the century: OWO gang versus Whole Lot of Rage.
Yeah, baby, let's go.
No, you know what? How about this? After the whole league is done, we can set up an exhibition match. How about that? We're gonna see.
An exhibition?
I want to see this.
Zach throws $50 at it.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, throw $50 at that. Wait, what you mean? No, I thought you believed in OWO game. No, what you mean? No, what happened to that confidence? No.
If Whole Lot of Rage win the expedition, Zach gives them $50. OWO gang wins it. Whole Lot of Rage has to give Zach $50.
Period.
All right, bet.
Enough trolling around.
Whole Lot of Rage can get a free $50.
Oh my God. All right, enough trolling around. We got to get into game number 3, Splat Zone's Humpback Pump Track. I mean, maybe a Whole Lot of Rage throws this, but if not, it looks like this game 3 possibly could just
on Humpback.
this match.
There's so much meme you could do here.
Oh no, the aerial spray. Don't tell me they're gonna bring out the aerial spray. Okay, no. Actual comp here. It looks like they want to get it over. They want to go back to sleep. They want to get it over with, you know. So, yeah, an actual comp on the side. We see Vesta on his E-meter here. Very interesting picture. And now we see Whole Lot of Rage actually doesn't have the zone at the moment, but they do kind of pick on Vesta. They're going to go 3 now. Oh, Stargate go 3 down.
Yep.
And now they're going to go ahead
and Scribble and Gator with the Inkstorm.
Okay, let's be professional now because we got an actual comp here. So
yeah.
Now Stargate needs to see the bubbles come out here. They're playing very aggressively, but they're getting taken down by Vesta here by JB. I'm sorry, on his head shot. And Stargate might be able to
another one too. Gets taken out by the Audubon now.
They get capped the zone, and now Whole Lot of Rage is just going around. Oh no, Vesta! I think Vesta noticed him. She jumps back out. Whole Lot of Rage is 2 down, and we see the Cutters here screwing around over there, I guess. Maybe that's a game plan, just so messing up. But no, never mind. That's not a game plan. He gets absolutely wrecked. And now we see Stargate with the advantages. They're going to get another pick on these two, probably. RNG kind of, not working there, but they did it.
Listen, that's a struggle. That is a struggle on its own. Madness.
Yeah, it is. And
with 2.
Madness gets the pick. And Vesta jumps back out and just hold that risk and recap.
Here comes the missile. Madness. A Whole Lot of Rage having a full control of the zone. And I think, yeah, A Whole Lot of Rage has stopped playing around.
Yeah, they're not. It looks like they actually want to finish the set, but two down on the side of Stargaze.
This is good.
Up this game, denying their bubbles. They're playing really well for themselves.
Yeah.
To say the least.
JB?
If they can take this game here, I'm about to scream. I'm about to be ignorant. I ain't gonna lie. So, but one does go down on each side of Stargaze, though. But it looks like, but one goes down on each side, two down on the side of Stargaze.
Scrub's gonna jump out. Notices that everybody was dying. Yeah, wants to regroup. Jolo, now.
Stargaze is one of those smarter amateur level teams. You know, they know their stuff.
Two.
Three. And three down on the hole in the red. They're going to recap the zone before they can get lead.
I like this.
I like how they're playing, but they just keep going down. Whole lot of Rage is just that good. And they're 3 down once again, and now they're gonna challenge Best. Oh no, Best goes down. That's trouble. And now they're gonna be up in their face with the spawn. Whole lot of Rage is not gonna let up at all. He's in a pretty tough spot. I don't see how Stargaze is gonna come out of this. If they do, it will be impressive to say the least. But they're in a very tight spot.
That could be something to start off of.
At the ready, but no, 2 down, only trying to start.
Oh, Chargy used the bubbles in order to kill. And Squib is going to come out alive. Yeet also helping.
It popped the armor. And they got to put it on here. Will this be enough to cap the zone? Yes, it will.
They got to cap immediately. JB, finish our
Rage is still alive. Holy Rich is still alive, but they're going to find her pick on Stargaze. Whoa, what a nice direct.
Yeah.
Nice movement there, but
that's
not over yet. They're not over yet. Stargaze still in this. Whole lot of Rage trying to KO it. Vesta having a lot of problems trying to stay alive. I know we can tell she's struggling, but 2 down on the side of Whole lot of Rage, and Stargaze is going to recap the zone here.
Oh,
and now we see Booyah in the top. Booyah in the top. And maybe they can find a pick here on his junior. They want to pick on the junior. That could be used. They can find a pick. They find a pick on the black. It's 3 down. On the side of Whole lot of Rage, just a K shot. They can knock it out here if they keep.
They gotta get rid of Madness. They gotta get rid of Madness.
Don't feed to the K shot.
Nice.
They find a pick. They find 2 down here.
Pieces again.
They're not 2 down zone. 2 down zone. The 2 on the right. They caught X-Storm.
They gotta hold it. They gotta hold it. They gotta hold it.
They gotta hold the zone. They take the lead. Oh, they can could this be early? But 2 down, 3 down. But they do want to pick on the blaster if they can.
Let's say JB's still alive here. He's gonna jump out in order to save himself.
They need to recap zone here. Whole lot of Rage looking to end this game. Hopefully with this comeback. But Armor is ready on the side of Stargaze, and we're just waiting to pop. Here comes the special. It's going to come out right now, and they're going to go in. They're going to move in. They got to do it fast if they want to reach the zone. But
no.
They just took too long. Stargaze took too long to come back into the zone. They could have had it. I was hoping they would pop the specials a little bit sooner, but a really competitive game. Good job to Stargaze holding their own against Whole lot of Rage, to say the least. And they definitely an interesting set overall. And good job to both teams.
Wow, GG's to Stargaze. They tried their best. Guys, I thought they had it there. You guys had me at the edge of the seat in the way you're commentating that game. And
same. I thought they had it.
Stormy, as you said, they were throwing on the paint. They were throwing on their specials the last second. They just needed to do that like 2 seconds earlier. They could have possibly flipped that zone.
You're like, they had the Booyah. Like I didn't see the Booyah go on the zone. I saw Rain go on the zone. I saw the bombs. But I was like, where's the Booyah? Why isn't Booyah on the zone? I'm like, they took too long.
I don't know.
I feel like they had that. You know? But good job to Stargaze. You know what? Even if they didn't win, I'm not going to call them amateur anymore. They promoted it.
I mean, you know, it does feel like one of those series where it's like, yeah, you want to give Stargaze credit because they made some of these games close that weren't supposed to be close at all. But then it just feels a little bit like you have that asterisk on the series as well. As like, is Whole Lot of Rage actually trying? I mean,
were they trying? I doubt it.
I don't know.
I doubt it.
I think they were trying in some sense. I mean, they're playing well, but I mean, a little, of course, troll picks in the first game or two, and so it adds a little question mark here. But Stargaze tries their best. Of course, Whole Lot of Rage still one of the most dominant teams here in the Pro League, and we'll get a chance to talk more about the action, and we're going to try to get Yeet from Stargaze, captain there, on the cooldown desk. So we're going to take a 5-minute break, but we'd love it if you guys could stick around for the cooldown desk, and we will see you guys then. So stick around, and we'll see you soon. welcome back, everybody. How's it going? Good to see you all here. Thank you guys for supporting Splatoon 2 action and our Pro League here today, whether you are a follower, a viewer, and we just really appreciate that. I want to call out the last couple of follows: Shadow Wind, Cheese Gaming, and Game Goose, and Boy Splatoon just following as well. Thank you guys so much for all the love and the support. Even if some games aren't being played on stream and all the little bit of the messiness we'll talk about for the Pro League. But thank you guys for the support anyways. Right now we're going to try to get Yeet from Stargaze, team captain. Yeet, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you, Yeet, for being here. Even though it was a tough 0-3 today against Whole Lotta Rage. I saw you guys in the chat saying that you were betting on Whole Lotta Rage yourself, so I'm guessing it's no surprise to you guys?
Well, I mean, first time I encountered Whole Lotta Rage was actually the first tournament that I held with my teammates, Stargaze, and they just like swept basically the entire thing. You know, they were using these kind of like really whack comps, like all rain and stuff like that. So I mean, if I see these teams that, you know, I play against and kind of go even with get absolutely destroyed, you know, it's a good incentive, I think, though, for me at least, because, you know, I wanted to take a game off of them, but I'm not upset. I'm not as upset as I usually would be, I think, you know?
Yeah, no, totally. When we were talking about you guys on the desk, that there were so many close games within that, it felt like you guys could have won. I am curious. You're talking about their whack comps, though, and I want to get your take here. Is that them just trolling and having fun, maybe a little disrespect, or do you think that they're just a crazy team that's willing to try anything and see if it works?
I mean, I think it's a mix of both. But there's I don't feel any sort of disrespect because I personally prefer playing things that are off the meta. Like, because I play Klugas, I've played Aerospray before, like stuff that you don't normally see. And it's just more exciting to play against something that you don't see a lot. And, you know, you have to think kind of outside the box. It's not just like the standard NA, you know, 2 frontline support backline. You know, it's just something kind of weird, you know, and that's what I like watching them, and, you know, playing against them was fun too.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys had fun. It was fun to watch, even if it was a little bit of a mismatch. I think your guys' games were still really exciting and fun to watch for us. So thanks for still playing and giving us some good entertainment here today. But Yi, I want to ask you, I don't know how many people know Stargaze super well. So can you just tell us a little bit about your team? How did it form? What's the history of it?
All right, so this is. Are you prepared for a long answer? Do I have time?
I mean, you know, maybe like a couple minutes. You don't have to go crazy long.
All right, so basically, Stargaze formed right around the time that this game launched. So like 2017-ish, around then. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was around that time, but it all started with a group of friends, actually. A group of friends kind of came together, you know, started playing together and stuff like that. I wasn't originally part of that group. There's only one person left on that team, from then that's still here now, which is RDB, last person.
Wow.
But I feel like that's where a lot of our bond kind of comes from, is that group of friends. But we started getting a little bit more competitive about a year or so after, around the time that I joined, which was the first time they had actually held tryouts. And I think that was about November of 2018, something like that. And at the time, we weren't called Stargaze. We were called My Guys. I'm not sure if anybody remembers that, but we've kind of worked our way up Ludi. That around that time was when I first met RDB. And the funny thing is that even though we met online, all of these like weird circumstances, I could walk to his house.
Wow, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, we live like one town apart, and I'm really thankful for that, because, you know, it kind of brings me a little bit closer to him. And we've kind of gone from this Div 6 Ludi team to, last season we were Div 4. And, since then I feel like we've gotten a lot better and a lot closer because, we had our SAC, I don't know what to call it, our SAC run, I guess.
Yeah.
I like to hold on to it. It's something that I don't think I'm ever going to forget.
Did you guys end up winning that?
We didn't end up winning, but we started off not placing in top cuts. We started off like around ranked like 22nd or something like that. And then in the last tournament, we got second, but for the finals, we came in third, but we had like this really insane losers run that, I'll always look fondly back on.
Yeah. That's
I can
awesome.
confirm because Persistent was playing in SAC. I can confirm they were insane.
Well, awesome. Thanks for telling us about your team. And a couple people in the chat recognize my guys in IPS saying that's so long ago. So apparently some people will still remember you. And that's kind of cool. And I'm curious for you because, the way that WTP is set up for Season 3 and we're still trying to figure it out. But the top 8 teams that apply come to the Pro League. And you guys got put in the Pro League. Stormy made a comment here on the analyst desk today that maybe you guys are more of a high-level amateur team. Do you guys see yourself kind of in that high, mid to high range, or kind of like the lower level of pro tier? Where would you rank your team where they're at right now?
I feel like we're at like a really weird spot when it comes to rankings, because ever kind of since Ludi, we like to think that we were part of that, Div 3 outcasts kind of put into a group of Div 4, even though we were kind of a Div 3 skill. But I understand that. I definitely get that. We're kind of on the line. On our off days, I'd say that we might not be Pro League, but when we have our good days, I definitely say that we're there.
Yeah. So how do you guys as a team getting into this Pro League, playing against other top level teams, how are you guys focusing on improvement over the season? Or do you guys have specific ways you're trying to train and practice up so that you can start taking down these top level teams?
I think we're already at the part where we can take down these top level teams. Right now, I'm trying to focus on our mentality. A lot of what our match results come down to is just how we're feeling. That's really it. The only thing that's holding ourselves back is us. It's just, are we in a good mood? Are we not? Are we laughing? Are we just kind of like serious? Last week we definitely could have beaten Micklin, but we came off of some stuff that happened and everybody was just kind of feeling out of it. So we played out of it. Today we kind of go in feeling all right. We're a little bit pumped up, and I feel like it kind of showed a little bit here. Yeah. But if a team like Whole Lotta Rage or even Priority, like we had a really good day in High Ink when we were able to take that game off of Priority, and I think we have that kind of potential, and that's what just motivates me.
Yeah. It seems like you guys definitely have potential as a team, and I'm excited to see how you guys grow over the season, over the split. And I'm going to take it to you, Stormy. I'm curious if you have any questions for Stargaze and Yeet as the captain.
I do have a couple of questions. I've seen you guys as persistent rivals for a while. You were a team that we had to chase for a while now, and I'm really excited to get to talk to you now. But I think one thing I'm wondering is, like, you guys have been around for a while. What keeps you going? What keeps you going?
I think it's different for everybody. For me personally, I picked up this game because, at the time there was a lot of stuff that I really liked doing. I was decent at like the Pokemon card trading game at the time, but I couldn't really seem to get super good at it. Same thing kind of goes for Smash Bros and Mario Kart and a lot of the games that go for it. But with Splatoon, there's something different about it to me, and I wanted to prove to myself that I could get good at something. I can all of this is just kind of for me, for building up my own confidence, because, you know, I wasn't super confident like in myself 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Really?
And, you know, now I'm like, I can talk to other people. I don't have to be like afraid of like what I sound like, what I look like, you know, what I say. I can just kind of own it and go for it. And a lot of that has come from playing Splatoon and playing with these people that you see or like you talk to, you know, almost every night. And you just work together, and it just feels really nice. And that's what keeps me going.
Yeah, well, that's awesome to hear. I'm glad to hear you got some of that confidence from Splatoon. That's really special. That's really cool. And I'm going to turn it over to Cassie. Do you have any questions here for Stargaze as well? Oh, maybe you're gone.
He's dead.
Sorry, I apologize. My mic was up. We were. I had like the entire like thing paraphrased in my head. Anyway, so we were over having this conversation earlier within this episode. I'm just gonna call it an episode for now. But we were over earlier in this episode talking about burnout and mentality and all that. It's something that's very difficult to keep, especially during these days. And do you have any specific tips that you could possibly have to the audience, maybe to like avoid things, maybe such as burnout, maybe such as you know, when teams disband?
You know, there was a point where I feel like the entirety of Stargaze as a team was in jeopardy back like late August-ish. I think it was right after Inkstorm 8. You know, you come off of a night like SAC back at the end of June, and you're just kind of in a really weird spot because now you don't have something that's like really hyped up. You know, you're coming off of something like that, and it feels like you're not going to get back to it. And at one point we did temporarily kind of like stop playing, but I think it might have been like a week or two. We just came back, you know. But when it comes to avoiding any kind of like burnout or something like that, I say it's all right to have a little bit of burnout sometimes, because you can still come back to it. I think, you know, it can be for however long you want, because at the end of the day, other stuff is more important than Splatoon. Like you can take a small break for like mental health, or just, you know, focus on something else that you might be interested in. But if you still want to play Splatoon, but you don't really want to play competitive, I just say like grab a pair of friends or something like that. Just play League, goof around, you know, just do something that makes you discover how much you love this game again.
Yeah, I love what you're saying. It seems like you have a lot of wisdom. I don't know how old you are, but I love what you're spitting now. There's some great wisdom in there, and apparently we're gonna have like an hour-long podcast session with you or something like that, because you're spitting good things. But
I'm a little bit of a talker. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It's all good stuff. I do want to take a second to just thank the anonymous tipper for the $10 adding to the prize pool. Much love and appreciation to you there. I'm going to pass it on to Zach, so yeet, beware. This question from Zach might change your whole life, so I don't know how to prepare you for it, but here
I'm
it
excited.
Oh, Lord.
Before I ask the question, I just want to say, Yeet, that you are absolutely wise beyond your years, and watching your team play today was very inspiring. And I think even from, you know, having a team that's starting from the beginning of Splatoon 2, now with the announcement of Splatoon 3, I think you guys are the up-and-comers coming into that game, and I hope that you guys are able to press on to that game as well, to Splatoon 3. I'm just really, really cool to hear from you today, hear you in positive spirits, because your team absolutely came out looking like $1 million today, even in loss. So with that said, I'm having a lot of vertigo problems. Do you have any just ideas of what I could do? Like I know that you're not a doctor, but I'm looking for anything I can get at this point. Please help me out.
For what?
For vertigo.
What? You want to
Um,
explain Vertigo real quick?
Yeah, one sec. Let me just
Sure.
Yeah,
sure,
look it up. What the heck
I'm
is
just gonna
Vertigo? I've
WebMD that
never
real
heard of
quick.
that.
Okay, awesome.
If
Even
I
I'm
remember
confused.
Vertigo,
I'm a fast
Uh,
guy.
Wait.
Zach,
Okay. So,
are you pregnant?
Oh no, no.
all right. Wait. So you said something about
Dude.
vertigo, right?
Look, I took
Yeah.
the pill. I took the pill
Okay.
last night, guys. It's come on.
All right. Did you do something? All right. So, do you put cotton swabs in your ears?
Oh, every once in a while, yeah.
I think you should stop that.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Shermie says vertigo can be cured by drinking ketchup. I don't think that's true. I really don't think that's true.
I
Oh
If
my
that is
gosh.
true, then
Well,
I'm
thank
never
you. Thank you for the
catching
advice.
Vertigo
I
because
appreciate
eat a
it.
lot of ketchup.
I don't know.
I don't think it's not. Don't quote me on anything here. I'm not a doctor. I swear. Okay.
Okay. You sure sound like one.
Yeet on here just Googling things on WebMD right now. I swear. Just searching.
Hey, the man asked me what vertigo was or what to do about it, and
Yeah.
I'll just tell him what to
appreciate
do.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
that was some good advice there on the spot. I don't know where the heck that question came from for Zach, but
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be the same person again after this.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, well, let's move on. We're gonna wrap up the stream here in a second, but let's take a look at the standings before we move on. And we have a couple teams. We are now down to 5 teams with a couple teams dropping off. Whole lot of rage still undefeated. Although Jackpot looking good though as well, still undefeated. And then we got 3 teams squitting good: Micklin, Heroes, and Stargaze. There with a 2-2 or 1-2 record. The staff here will be meeting here later today to figure out what we want to do moving forward with the Pro League. So expect some announcements to come out about some changes. We might change up the schedule or change up the format since we are now down to 5 teams. And Yeet, I want to get your perspective here real quick. We've had actually more teams drop out from the Pro League than we have had from the Amateur and Academy League, respectively. Is it just hard to be a top level team in Splatoon and keep the ball going? We were talking about, earlier on the stream, I don't know if you caught it, us talking about there's not much motivation as far as prizes and money and motivation to keep going when you're at the top. Do you feel like that's true, or is it just kind of random that these teams keep dropping?
I don't know. I feel like dropping in this, you might not just be as committed. I think Friends was a pickup, but I mean, I kind of understand like not having a lot of motivation. Maybe not when it comes to top level, but I'll even kind of speak for mid level. Once you get past, from personal experience, actually, once you get past kind of that low level, I don't know what to call it. It's just like there's just so much available for low level, like because I can name Minnow Cup, Low Ink, SAC, everything kind of like that, where you have that level cap. Once you hit that level cap and you're above it, you have no idea what to do. You're gonna enter into these weeklies, like an SOS or a testing grounds or something like that, and you might just keep losing, and it's going to be hard to get through it. Like I said, kind of what I went back through in late August. It's going to be hard to get through it, but if you do get through it and you can get better, you don't have to look at these tournaments, these open tournaments like 0-2, that's my night. You can look at it like, all right, there are 2 shots for an upset. There's 2 shots for an upset every week. If you can get those upsets going, you can build up that kind of confidence, you can get better. And it just, when you hit that top level, you're going to enter in these weeklies, you can win, but I know there's not as much put into that top level, and that mid levels are in for the low level.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if we can fix that problem here at WTP. I'm sure a lot of other leagues are trying to figure it out as well. And, I think I totally agree with you. I've seen Even though I'm more new to the Splatoon competitive scene this year, I feel like I've seen a lot more effort be made towards those mid-level teams or low-level teams, and some of the top-level teams are kind of just sitting there figuring out what to do. And there's a few leagues, there's a few tournaments that they can enter in, but I think it's something that maybe the Splatoon community definitely needs to work towards. But for now, we're going to end the stream. We're going to raid In-Game TV. Speaking of which, another great channel that has led great tournaments by Sendo or K-Bot, and a lot of great Splatoon 2 action from there. They have, I think, a podcast right now going about Splatoon. So we'll take a hashtag WTP raid there. I'll see you guys on the other side. Remember that, of course, Friday this upcoming week is going to be back to the Amateur League action. Some of the best action we've seen, and we are hyped for that. Pro League will give you guys an update next Sunday of what's going to be happening, or you'll be able to see that in our Discord or Twitter. And of course, Saturday, of course, is as well the Academy League action, some of the lower level teams, but amazing teams going at it, playing hard, and I think Valorok, yes, you should be streaming that. So we'll see you guys next time. Join the raid, and we'll see you guys over there. Peace out.